Hello, beautiful people. It is your host, Dr. Rashida O. Weaver, and I am the creator of the Social Entrepreneurship Show and the founder of the International Institute for Social Entrepreneurship. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. Now, I am so excited, so happy right now. Let me see if I'm going to adjust my computer. So happy because it has been exactly 1 week since we have hosted the Ready, Set, Launch Social Enterprise Pitch Competition. It was my first ever pitch competition hosting it. And in the first ever pitch competition for IISC, the International Institute for Social Entrepreneurship. And I partnered with Morgan State University, Howard University, and PNC Center for Entrepreneurship. And it was amazing. It was such a beautiful event. We had five finalists and three winners. Everyone will did receive a package to have, their expenses paid to attend a conference coming up soon. And so that'll be exciting. And they get to take all their ideas to the next level. And then we gave away $5,000 in funding. We had three winners, a first place, second place, and third place winner. First place winner got $3,000. And so it was a really great event. It was beautiful to see how much their organizations have evolved since taking the boot camp. And I'm just so happy with the turnout. And it's been like a dream come true, just like the entire last couple of years. If you don't know, like 4 years ago, I had major changes in my life, and I decided to really take this journey in social entrepreneurship to the next level because I was studying it as a researcher, but also had created Weaver Social Enterprise Directory, which is the original name of my organization. I took it, uh, I created it in 2018. And then in 2019, that is when I made it a legal, formal social enterprise, legal structure, benefit corporation legal structure. And then in 2022, so that's 4 years from when I created it, that is when I really took it seriously after quitting my job in academia. And so I want to talk a little bit about those stages today of there's four different stages of the social entrepreneur's journey. And I'm doing some writing on this right now, but I'll give you a little taste of what I'm working with. All right, so the first stage, I'll give you all four stages at first. So we have the potential social entrepreneur, stage one. Two, the nascent social entrepreneur. Stage three, the growing, social enterprise, right? The growing social entrepreneur. They are growing and owning and managing a real social enterprise. Maybe even on paying themselves salary at this point. He should be at that point. And then we have the established social enterprise, the established social entrepreneur, but these or people are becoming expansive. They can scale in a variety of different ways. They found a systematic model for running their social enterprise. They're able to pay themselves a salary. They're able to pay salaries to all their employees and things like that. And so and also to like design and advance their programs. And so I want you to know that this is a journey through which there are different phases. And if you're the social entrepreneur, a different version of you is needed for every single stage, and you will evolve into it. You will get there. And so just trust the journey, trust the process, and learn to enjoy it. All right. So the potential social entrepreneur phase is a preparation phase. People can stay in this stage for a long time. We would love to think that like you have an idea and then you just launch it, and it doesn't work that way. A lot of times what I found, and even with myself, is that people have been thinking about a social enterprise idea for a while. So they are in the intention phase. They intend to start a social enterprise. They may not know this term social enterprise or social entrepreneurship, which is very common. They may decide to start a nonprofit or for-profit organization. And in this stage, they're maybe going to some business meetings, maybe going to conferences, reading a little bit. Or I even know someone, she said that she would always like doodle her logo and stuff and design her products and services for years as an accountant, and then finally decided to become an entrepreneur, like after years, after realizing like she didn't like accounting. And so people can stay in this stage, that initial stage for a while. But that's the where it starts. It starts with an idea, and then you slowly start preparing for it, or fast. You start preparing for that idea to become a reality. Now, the nascent Stage two, the nascent social entrepreneur. This is when we're incubating. Now, a startup is an organization. A startup is defined as an organization that's finding its business model, right? And so in the nascent social entrepreneur phase, this is one where the entrepreneur is they're getting steps to get their business registered. They probably have a business plan or some, even if it's not a formal 10-page business plan, maybe a one-page business plan, they have the idea fleshed out. They know what services and products they want to sell or programs. And this is when they are actively working towards it. They may have even literally I've started generating sales. But in this stage, it's not a fully functioning machine, right? They're at the beginning stages and they're really learning their organization. In the third stage, the owner or manager of a growing social enterprise. Once a social entrepreneur becomes the owner or manager of a growing social enterprise, now we're in the growth process. They are selling. Now they may have to pivot over time because even with myself, I started selling databases, then I started selling the boot camp, then it was the books, then ended up mentoring, and then like now it's a system. Now it's a whole system. But it took me playing around with different services and programs to see which one was the best fit. I even do speaking engagements as well. And actually when I quit my job, I planned on only doing speaking engagements. And then the boot camp took off, and then the book took off. And then so, it sometimes it's like the business model chooses you, right? And so, yeah, sometimes because I was getting when I first quit, I was getting a lot of speaking engagements at that time. I'm kind of one, oh, you know what? I was on Instagram a lot speaking, Instagram and LinkedIn a lot speaking. So people were able to see me speaking. So I need to keep doing that. And I got a couple of speaking engagements recently. So I just did one last week and have two more offers. So it works, guys, marketing. And so I wasn't really, well, I guess I am marketing, but I was just really talking. But anyway, so in this stage, we're making things systematic. You're generating enough revenue in this stage for you to pay yourself a salary. May not be the salary that you want, but at this point, you should be able to know how to scale if you want to, right? Once you get to an established social enterprise, meaning you know all right, I'm gonna post something on LinkedIn or Instagram or YouTube, and I'm gonna generate revenue, or I'm gonna go to this meeting, or like I have business partners. You have a business model that is like runs like clockwork. That is when the real fun starts happening. Stage three is when the real fun starts happening too, but stage four is like you are established at this point. Not only are you running this social enterprise and it's just, on repeat, it's just what I call 365, 24/7 model. At this point, if you wanted to duplicate it and put in another context, like create a second branch of your social enterprise, you could do that. Or some people won't do that. You could keep one organization and you could literally just expand your reach throughout the world. There's so many different ways to do that, right? So it's kind of like even like a broker, for example. I was watching a show called Selling Tampa. I loved it. But it's like the entrepreneur that created, I believe it was called Allure Realty. She she's an entrepreneur. She has all these real estate agents working for her. She's the broker, and she gets a piece of everything that they sell, but she's able to multiply herself through having all these agents that can go out and sell all this real estate. That's what you're in the expansion stage. Now, some people may not want to expand in terms of how much they sell. They might want to expand in terms of how much people they serve, right? And as their target beneficiaries through their social mission. Everyone is different. More than likely, though, once you get to the expansion stage, that is when you actually have a team. You might have a team in stage three as well. But in stage three, you could really do this on your own. You could literally be in stage three and be making six figures a year and be comfortable with that. And some social entrepreneurs might just literally be comfortable making $100,000, $200,000 a year and running an organization mostly by themselves. And that's enough for them for life. And then some may want to take it to the next level. They're making over 250, making $500,000, and they have several employees that have benefits and payroll and salaries and maybe even some kind of like other benefits. So it's really up to you what you want to do. But I really wanted to unpack this journey so that you know that there are different stages to this and that you can really start to unpack what stage you are in because that's really important. Like every stage is super important, and the version of you that each stage will require you to become is so different. And I ensure you that it's a beautiful process. I'm going through it myself right now, and it's really beautiful, and it's like very fulfilling, and it's also very humbling because I feel like in stages one and two, you don't really know what you're doing, or like you don't know if it's going to work yet. And it's like you have like I'm very, very optimistic, and I don't plan on quitting on my dreams anyway. But still, there's always a part of you that's like, well, this is not working, that's not working, or this is not where I want it to be. But I've learned to just literally immerse myself in the journey, enjoy the ride, enjoy each stage because I just don't want to miss it. You know, I think that's one of the biggest lessons I've learned for over the last 10 years, being a mom, having been married and things like that. I feel like I want to savor every moment of my life. I'm like slowing down. I want to enjoy this thing, enjoy this ride, especially when things start to really work out. Because, like I said, in stages one and two, you're a little nervous, you're a little anxious. You're like, I'm putting all this money into this organization. Am I going to see a return? Is it going to work out? Maybe you want to quit your job and do this full time. And you're like, I don't, you're just a bit anxious. And then you get to stage three and you're like, it's working. It's working. And the model is literally the model is working. It's working. It's working. And it makes you want to cry. Like you're like, oh, okay. All those nights when I was afraid and I was anxious, like it all worked out. It all worked out. And then if you want to go to stage four and expand, that'll work out too. Because if you can get through the first three stages, you're gonna rock four. Okay. I have seen people do stage four too fast. And so sometimes they end up having to go back to the whole drawing board. But sometimes a lot of that actually comes from, they could go right back to stage three. Sometimes that comes from ego. Like like I've seen people start one organization and they are thriving, one social enterprise and they're thriving, and then they have a second branch and a third branch, they expand too soon, and that doesn't work. And now they're so like short on money that they have to actually close all locations or something. So I would say take your time before expanding. Um, Take your time and really enjoy that stage three. Really enjoy where it's growing and the model is working. And I would say enjoy that for a couple of years, like where it's just working and save up and make good investments. And don't be hard on yourself if you make mistakes, because here's the reality, all social entrepreneurs do. Every single person that is successful and throughout history has made a ton of mistakes. They just get up and decide to, go after one more try. And all you need is to succeed once, right? Um, you can like have a ton of money problems your whole life, and then one day you become a millionaire. And as long as you can stay a millionaire, and all the mistakes in the past don't matter. So don't ever forget that. Like you could literally apply for a grant 10 times, not get it, and then you finally get it, and now you're a grant awardee. So, keep that in mind. Failure to social entrepreneurs is, I wrote it right in my book. I say fail fast, fail forward, and if you can't fail, smart, right? If you're gonna fail fast, as soon as I fail, I'm like, okay, just get the lesson. Get the lesson, implement it, don't do it again. And fail forward, meaning we're not going to sit there becoming depressed because we failed at something. You're going to fail. You're going to fail to hire the right person. You're going to fail to manage money well. And you're going to, like, I hired a marketing team that wasn't, I don't know what they were doing. Honestly, it was like, that was like a whole crazy, and I was going too fast when I did that, right? I was trying to rush from nascent to the growing social entrepreneur. And I was just so excited to start my organization. But then I lost thousands of dollars hiring the wrong people. But it's all good because it worked out. And I learned a lesson that I can also teach to other people. And I learned a lesson that I won't make ever again, you know? And so comment down below if you've learned about what lessons you've learned so far in your social entrepreneur's journey, and maybe even what stage you're in and how you're feeling about it. Also know that you can always reach out to me for mentoring or coaching at rashidaweaver.com. I love talking about this stuff because every single stage literally it shifts your life too, right? You can be a potential social entrepreneur and literally be like living really like hand to mouth, like struggling, and then by the time you're an established social entrepreneur, might even be a millionaire, So in my research study, over 30% of the social entrepreneurs that I studied out of 115 were millionaires. They ran multi-million dollar organizations, and over 70% in my study of 115 social entrepreneurs made over $100,000 a year. And so you keep going and keep pursuing this, and just like I said, blaze past your challenges, because if when you succeed, you really do succeed, and you could have a really beautiful, flexible life doing good for the world, but also good for yourself as well. And who knows who you'll impact on all the good that you'll do. All right. So thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of the Social Entrepreneurship Show. Like the video, please like the video, share it with anyone that you feel it could benefit, and make sure you to subscribe to my channel so you can see more videos like this. Ciao, ciao.